All right, let's get started. Coaches, welcome to the Offensive Game Planning webinar. And today we're going to talk about the 3 secrets to transforming your game plans to win more games. And I've got a bonus for you at the end of the presentation, so stick around for that. First off, does this sound like you? You like to make calls based on in-game feel, but afterwards you realize your gut was wrong and you missed calls you should have made. Or maybe you just don't have time to make daily practice scripts and fancy call sheets, so you just try to call your plays from memory. I've done that one before. Or your call sheet isn't set up with situational calls, and you just end up randomly picking plays in critical situations. Been there, done that one. Maybe you didn't keep track of plays you ran all week and just ended up winging it in practice. At the end of the week, you didn't really know which plays you are most prepared for as a team. How about you had to retype your armbands 3 different times this week and didn't give new ones until late because you kept making changes? And you can tell when that happens, when players are scrambling and looking at them and trying to figure it out last minute. Or maybe you're just overwhelmed. I think this is every coach with the time it takes to manage your offensive game plan. And excuse me, can't imagine how other coaches do it while also teaching their full-time job. So right now we're doing this offensive game planning, talking about strategy and 3 secrets to transforming your game plans to win more games. Again, like I said, you're going to get a bonus at the end of the presentation. This is not live, just an FYI, so I'm not trying to trick you, but it is on demand, so you do have to schedule a time to watch it. So thank you, Coach, for being here, and my name is Jason Honstadt, and I am the presenter for you. First of all, quick note, if you don't mind, so you can get the most out of this presentation, could you silence your iPhones, turn your messengers off, find a quiet place to tune in and listen, because I think you'll get the most out of this presentation. Or you could always come back and schedule for another on-demand replay if now is not a good time. If you've got questions, I've got a chat window. Anytime, put your question in that chat window, click send. Because like I said, this is not live, I will get an email. I'll get an email immediately that you have put a question in. So you could just say, hi, hey coach, how's it going? Send that. I'd love to hear from you. Or if you have a question, you can put it in there and hit send, and I will get back to you, but it will be by email. Hopefully within 24 hours is my goal, but might be right away if I have the moment free. So again, we're talking about the 3 secrets to transforming your game plans to win more games. Once again, my name is Jason Honstadt. I'm the founder of Pro Style Spread Offense and coachingoffense.com, as well as the Easy Football Game Planner. All right, so Coach, let's get started. My goal is to show you how to take what you know about offensive strategies and turn it into a complete offensive game plan that you can use throughout the week to help you win your next game, okay? One where you have time every single day for serving your team who can benefit from what you have to teach them. Okay, so we're talking about a different look at your game planning week. It doesn't have to be stressful and overwhelming. All right. I think you can be confident in your game plan and even have the entire week's plan done in a day so you can spend time with your family and get the valuable mental recovery time you desperately need. Or you can finally get enough sleep that your body needs. All right, so coaches, once again, introducing myself. I'm Jason Honstadt. I created the Pro Style Spread Offense, Coaching Offense, and the Easy Football Game Planner. And when I founded it, I actually had no idea that it was going to give me the chance to interact with literally thousands of coaches. Okay, the majority of these coaches, as I started talking to them about their offensive game planning and their game planning processes and what they wanted and what they needed, some were doing some things right. You know, they had efficient ways to do things. But what I did find, unfortunately, is that the majority were doing a lot of things harder than they should. Okay, so after being behind the scenes of my different companies and businesses and seeing what's going on for 4 years, I discovered that there is a much easier way to build a game plan. All right. I also discovered that it doesn't have to be stressful or all-consuming. All right. And in addition, number 3, with the right strategy, it can also be very beneficial to your win column. Okay, so there's a hard way to do things. I'm just going to cover that really quick. The hard way is you just draw up a bunch of plays, call as many as you can by memory, and really, as you call them, you literally just pray that they're working, and struggle to keep up each week with a new game plan all over again. Now, most of us aren't doing 1 or 2, but I'd say number 3 is a battle for almost everybody. But there are 2 types of football coaches, okay? And this is what I found out as I talked to a lot of different coaches. And there's one of these types that you absolutely want to avoid, all right? One kind of coach that I've had some interactions with is the gut feel coach. And this is the kind of coach who goes into a game planning week and they are just going to basically wing it, all right? I wrote a blog article on am I a lazy coach was the question. I asked myself the hard questions. And typically that goes along with a coach who is just trying to wing it and not really putting the time or attention to detail that should be put into it. Now, not everybody is a lazy coach. You could be a very hardworking coach, but just be overwhelmed and just say, at that point, I'm just going on my gut feel. This is what's going to work. I think this is, what we got to do. Now, you could do that. But there was another kind of coach that I had the chance to interact with. And this kind of coach, I'm just going to call the planner, okay? Now, the planner type of coach, this is a person who is able to get their entire game plan done the week and sometimes even earlier before that, before their game. So they have a lot of days to work with and their game plan is done. It's complete. So all they're doing throughout the week is revising it. And what does a complete game plan done look like? It looks like you've got a call sheet that's ready to go. And that's not on Friday, you've got your call sheet ready to go. Obviously, you might need some tweaks throughout the week, but like day 1, Monday, you actually have it plays in it. So you could take it out to practice and start to get familiar with it. They've got practice scripts every day, every team or group period, 7-on-7, goal line, or end zone, red zone, whatever you call it, or inside run period. They've got those periods planned out with plays drawn up, written up for each of those periods, okay? And this was mostly what I encountered in college, in the college game, when I first started coaching for the first 5 years of my career as an assistant. This stuff all happened every day. You had scripts for every period. Now, when I went to high school, did not see that as much, but I have talked to a few coaches who are doing this, and they are very successful. All right, so, but it's difficult. It takes a lot of time, and that's kind of what we're talking about is how an easier way to create a game plan. Okay, and I do want to say as I start going into the rest of this presentation that the results are not typical. Okay, everyone and every team is different. Every person has different skills. Your results are going to vary. That's just the way life is, but you are going to, if you put time and effort into it and get stuff figured out, in the long run, you're going to save a lot of time and you are going to see better results. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the 3 secrets that I have discovered to getting a offensive game plan set up that is going to make a big difference with your team. All right, first secret, number 1. Setting a goal is not the main thing. It is deciding how you will go about achieving it and staying with that plan. Number 2 is working smarter, not harder. And number 3, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get started. Okay, secret number 1. So we talk about the goal is not the main thing. It's how you will go about achieving it. So we're talking about the process here is basically what I'm talking about. And I'm going to advocate for this right here. Having an opening script with your team. Okay, so now this is a trend that I'm seeing a lot of people going to right now. Okay, if you watch any college football game, they're going to have their nice play call sheet out, but they're not just randomly calling plays on that call sheet. They have taken the time to put in practice script or a game script, a game day script, which is basically a list of plays in the exact order that they would like to call them in the game. So that's an opening script. So there's a lot of reasons why you should be doing this. Okay, now some coaches might not want to do it, but I think there's benefits for everyone to do it. I strongly believe that. Okay, so here's why an opening script is invaluable to your practice week. Okay, and you want to start preparing this on day one. Okay, so opening play sequences, why they are better than going on in-game feel. Here's why. Okay, you've got an organized analysis of defensive reaction. Okay, so you get the ability to see what defenses are doing and what you can expect the remainder of the game based on your varying formations. So what I would do is, if you've got 5 or 6 formations that you're using throughout the game, you're going to show those formations in your opening script, and then you're going to take studious notes and make sure you got the eye in the sky, tracking everything they're doing against those formations. All right. By doing it this way, formations, motions, shifts, anything you have put in your game plan, you can create a plan for what to do following that. All right. And you can also determine, hey, is the stuff we're running good, or should we go to something else? But you know exactly, you can almost tell the eye in the sky, here's what we're looking for. I want to know when we run this play, are they shutting it down? Or should we go the opposite direction or whatever? You can have a note for every play that you want to know, and that will dramatically help you the next time you do have to make a call and you do have to go to your call sheet. All right, next you got plan deception. This is one of my favorite things about having a practice script, and that's you can set up a plan to work the defense for many plays in a row with complementary plays and tweaks that can make the defense's head spin. So I love this part of it. I love thinking 6 plays ahead in the calm and quiet of my office and just thinking, all right, we're going to motion this way, and that's going to cause them to think that, yeah, we're running towards motion, and then we're going to come back here and we're going to motion away, and they're going to think we're running towards it, but we're actually boot passing away from it, and setting up those sequences just like that. So teams start to think they know what you're doing, or they're just primed to do one thing or to react in one way, and then you do the next thing and because you've set them up. So that's one of my favorite things about this plan deception, when you set up those play sequences in your game script. All right, next we have practice to game benefits. Okay, the closer your practice mimics the game, the more confident and smoothly your offense can run. So here's my point here. If you're practicing your opening script 3 days out of the week, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, if you've hammered that opening script down and you've tweaked it and it's exactly what you want it, come game day, when your players go out there to execute their first 15 plays, they're going to already be in a rhythm. So if you're a slow starting team, this is a chance to get yourself out of that rut and become a fast starting team, because your players know what's coming, they know what to do, and they can execute it faster and smoother than if you just started calling random plays from the beginning of the game. So why use opening scripts? I've got, number one, more prepared players, better analysis of defensive game plan. You're going to know what the defense is doing in all aspects, and less stress. This is my last big one right here. I love this one. Okay, I hate the stress of the start of the game and all the anxiety of trying to figure out what should we be doing right now. I already know what we're supposed to be doing, and we have a plan for it. We've planned for every possible situation, every possible outcome. Okay, now you might be thinking, sometimes you get this, well, what if we do our script and it's 3rd and long, and the third play that I'm looking on my script is not a play that I want to run for third and long. It just doesn't fit. Well, you've got 2 options. Number one, you could still run that play and get a good look at the defense, and maybe it'll break. Who knows? Maybe that's the kind of play you need to run in that situation. Or you could hop off your script for one play and go over and take your top play off your 3rd and long chart in your call sheet and call that play for that one, and then get back right on the script when you get back going after a first down, or if you don't make it the next play. So That's what I would do. There really is no reason not to have an opening script and plan it out that way. I just think you're so much more prepared. I highly advocate it. All right, so secret number 2, work smarter, not harder. Now, here's the number one reason why people don't use practice scripts. We're going to shift from call sheets or from actual in-game scripts on your call sheet to practice scripts. Practice scripts are sequences of plays that you put on a separate practice script, separate sheet of paper, and you have a copy as the coordinator or the coach, and you give one to your scout team coach, and they look at it and they know what's coming and you know what's coming, so they can set the defense up in exactly what you want them, the way you want them to defend your offense. So everything is known. There's a value to that because you can know that you can cover all the variables then when everything is known, as opposed to just telling your defensive coordinator or your scout team guy, they're in a 4-3. All right, a 4-3 can look a ton of different ways against everybody's different formations. They don't know what that is. You got to draw it up on cards and tell them each play. This is a 4-3 cover 2. All right, now this is a 4-3, but they're rolling to a cover 3. All right, so have that set up on your practice scripts play by play. Okay, but it's overwhelming to kind of think, how am I going to get all this stuff in for practice? All right, so here's reasons why practice scripts make you better, and maybe by listening to this you'll be convinced and ready to go and get those practice scripts going even more. Okay, number 1, it helps you contain your plan size. When you have a practice script, or when you don't have a practice script, all right, and again, all of us have been there, at least I know I have, you tend to just, as coaches, offensive coaches, we love plays, and we'll just keep creating and adding more and more plays to our offensive game plan. But if we have to put it in a period, like an inside run period, this is all the runs we can work on these 3 days, or these 2 days we're doing inside run. It's really going to open your eyes to, here's how many times we're going to be getting reps on these plays, and I can't even get all these plays I want in run once. I know that's a problem because I want to run a couple of these plays more than once in this period because they're new. It just really opens your eyes to what you can and cannot do for your game plan. Secondly, it helps you with your tempo. So if you decide to mimic game tempo for conditioning and more quality preparation, but you still want to be efficient, you don't need to run plays till they puke just so you can get film and then coach from the film, okay? But setting that tempo, having that script down and ready, especially if you've got to get scout teams ready, it really speeds things up. And the deal with, one of the things I always forgot to do was get our offense run from on the different hashes. So I would have, excuse me, I would have guys running all plays from the middle of the field, and then I realized, oh shoot, that's not how a game's played. We need to move the ball from hash to hash and back and forth. But if you have a script set up and the coaches are watching where the ball should be set, or you give a copy to an assistant who can run the ball and place the ball for you, or a kid who's hurt, have them set it on the hash mark for you. It'll help your team get used to running the ball in the random situations, or at least where you want to. You might have right hash, left hash plays and need to be running it from those hashes. If that's not on your script, you might forget to put it on those hashes. Or worse yet, you realize after everybody's on the line and then you got to reset the ball. It is a pain. It messes up with your tempo. All right. And it also causes those mental errors. All right. So how many times have you finished a practice and said, dang it, I forgot to do that? Practice scripts eliminate those errors. Okay. You're going to make sure you're going to get through everything you need to get through on time. All right. And if you can't get through it, you can scratch it out and either get it the next day, but at least you know exactly where you're at and you'll be more on time. So the third secret, the last one, is you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. So start with your team's needs. You need organized practices first and foremost. It's all about the practice. That's what we love, right? I know I love practice. It's my favorite part of football, honestly. So we just need to start planning like we really love practices and have that mindset of the process, the practice. That's the most important part. Therefore, it's the most fun. It's where you get to make the real changes that are really going to play out on game day. Yeah, games are awesome because if you've practiced well and right, it's fun. You just sit back and you just enjoy it. You enjoy the execution. You celebrate. But the real work is done in practice and in perfecting what you're doing. And you can really grow your team when you are super organized in that area. Start small. I'd recommend with a simple opening game call script and just work through it. If I know some youth coaches, if I'm talking to you, you might only have a couple practices a week that you've got to go through. I'd have that script that you're working through. That's your game day script. That's 1 through 15. That's exactly how you're going to call it in that first game. And you do run through that 2 days of practice of offense. And by the time you hit your third day, the guys are going to be in a lot better shape than if you're just calling random plays out there. All right. So can you do this? Yes, of course. We all started somewhere. It's the same thing we preach to our players. The only thing that gets in the way is our old habits, keep us from our potential when we get lazy. So my question to you, my challenge to you is, are you going to commit to doing things a new way? I think there's a reason you're attracted to this webinar, why you made the decision to show up here today. Okay, it's a clue. I don't believe it's an accident. And what I know to be true is, you need to step up your game planning and practice planning to get to that next level, and you're looking for answers. All right, the future is so freaking bright. All right, for people that are willing to learn and willing to grow, and are ready to make big jumps, and really dedicate themselves to what they can do for their team. So, this is the moment for you. All right, you got to decide. Take a look right here. Are you going to be stuck with old, outdated, coaching? I just kind of joke. It's a funny picture, but I love it when coaches wear old school clothes to practice. I think it's a riot, and I'll do it just for fun anyway. But just kind of the idea, old school. That's not the way football's played anymore. All right, if you want to win championships, if you really want to win championships, you've got to join up with the other smart coaches who are moving into the modern era, new level planning today that guarantees that your team and staff will be prepared for every situation that comes up, every possible situation. When you're prepared, you know what to do, and then you don't make mistakes. So will you join other smart coaches? Here's my challenge right now. I want you to take a look at these 3 choices. You can either do nothing. Okay, that's fine. That's your choice. You don't have to do anything. I'm not pressuring anybody to do something. You might be nodding your head in agreement and already be doing everything I've said, and that's fantastic. You might just be looking for a faster way to do it, which hopefully I can answer that question coming up next. You could go at it alone. All right. Again, that's your choice. If you want to do things your own way, you could go create your own product or your own spreadsheets and figure it out yourself. That's totally an option. But I want to give you another option, and that is let me support you. Okay. I have come up with a way to help you create these products faster, and I want to really share with you exactly how you can do it. Okay. So do you have the time to figure it out on your own? And what kind of an impact would that lost time, frustration, or stress have on your life or your coaching? Okay. You can really get a jump ahead if you're open to help from others. Okay. It's challenging, but I saw it firsthand when I talked with my followers at the Pro Style Spread Offense. They were busy and exhausted, but they wanted to do more. Okay. But I also saw the other side, the planners who did things slightly different, but got massively better results. All right. They followed a set of best practices. They used strategies that, were proven to work time and time again. Okay. Now it's not your fault. Okay. I don't want to put any blame on anybody for not doing things this way. I hope it's not coming across that way, because in college, coaches don't really teach unless you're at a lower level college. They have time, they have assistants, they have people to do all this stuff. So if you're at a high school, it's not your fault if you aren't doing all of these things that could really help you out. You don't have time. You got you got to come up with lesson plans and grading and this and that, and deal with parents and kid issues, talk to, there's a lot of other stuff going on. That's why, I came up with the Easy Football Game Planner. Okay. There's 2 versions to it. And, I really believe you can get 10 times the amount of work done in your game plan in the same amount of time once you get it all set up. All right. I think you can It will really help you cut your game planning time down, and it looks amazing. Okay, it's not just helps you save time, but it looks good. All right, so I'm going to go now into some detail on exactly how it can do these things, how it can cut that much time. So definitely listen up to each of the aspects that I'm going to cover next about the football game planner. All right, so your offensive call sheet. How can you save time with doing this? Well, with the Easy Football Game Planner, I'm going to show you. All right, creating a call sheet on Football Game Planner. Number one, and you will only have to do this one time for each game. And if plays are the same, you don't have to do it again for those plays. So week 2 and 3, if you have new plays, you just put the new ones in. But if you're keeping some of the old ones, you keep them there. Most teams might change, 5, 10 plays a week. But that's it. That's totally manageable. Input plays on your setup grid. You're going to create a game plan from drop downs of plays. All right, very simple. You just do a couple clicks of drop downs for each of the plays you want. Then you're going to add the game plan wherever you want it on your call sheet. All right, just by simply dropping a number into a box where you want it on the call sheet. You can put the same play in 6 different categories just by typing a single number 6 different times. It's that simple. And if you want to change it, you just change the number. All right, then you are going to print out your call sheet, and it's done. It'll look something like this right here. So that's what I did right here. I've filled it out just so you can see it. The plays are kind of generic, but this is a different basic call sheet. And if you take a quick look at that and you see openers, base runs, script, this is a general call sheet that most coaches will have all the different categories. Now, maybe your offense doesn't fit. You can change these headings. They don't have to stay named the same. You can't change the number of plays within them, but there's a lot of different varieties from big categories, medium categories, small categories. So just pick the categories you need bigger to have more plays, and the ones that can be smaller, put them over here on the right. So that's how you would set up a call sheet. It's that simple. All right, so next I want to talk to you about how the game planner can help you set up your practice scripts faster. All right, so let's look at these steps here. Number 1, input plays on your setup grid, and if you've already set up your call sheet, then you don't need to do this again. It's already done. Create your game plan from drop downs of plays. Exact same thing. You don't need to do this if your call sheet's already set up. It's already done. And then third, you're going to add the game plan wherever you want it on your practice script. So again, there's a column that you will simply type in the number in the correct column where you want the play to sit on your practice scripts, and it's there. The entire play gets transposed over. You don't have to type anything new. So literally just by typing in numbers next to plays in the correct categories, you create your practice scripts for the entire week. And we have a whole bunch of scripts for the week. I'm going to take a quick look at those right here so you can see. For example, we have inside run, we have first day, second day, we have pass skeleton, and this is just half of the ones that I have to show. We have a couple other pages of them as well. But if you don't want to call it this, if you maybe want to change the name of these, you can do that as well. So it's a very simple process to put your plays in. And what I like about your practice scripts is it has your plays numbered. It has the hash. It has the down and distance. So if you want to get really specific with your situations, it has your personnel, and then it has your armband number. So when you're calling your script, if you're using armbands, you can right away call out to the quarterback what armband number they should be using, and then it has the play and the defense. So this defense part is great for your scout team coach when they need to know where to set stuff up and what defense to set them up in. So you can have all that stuff done and set up for practice every single day for every single period that you want to use a practice script in. So it's a very simple thing, and you can also adjust your columns here. If you don't have enough room, you can make them wider, narrower, things like that are easy. If you want to format this and make it, all of our printout sheets you can format, so you could change the font, you could change the highlighting if you want to make it colorful. You can kind of have at it and be as creative as you want to be with each of the sheets that you would like to print out. So next, we're going to talk about the Risk Coach cards. And for those of you that use them, I think you'll find how easy this is. Those of you that don't use them, I won't talk about this too long, but it might be something you might want to consider in the future because of how simple it is to use this. So with the Risk Coach, when you set that up, again, input your plays on the setup grid. So if you've already done that, that's done. Create your game plan. All right, now here's where you have a little bit more to do. You could just print out a quarterback call card from that. So you don't have to add the part 3, which is individual assignments for each player's cards. However, if you wanted to, if you're going to be a program that's going to maybe teach on the fly, or you want an individual assignment card for every player, and that means that the receivers, it just tells them their route and the formation, and the linemen, it tells them their blocking assignment and the formation, then you can do that. It's a super easy way, but you do have to add those individual assignments for each player's cards, and I've got a lot of coaches that are doing that. And I think it's an easy way to teach much more quickly, especially if you're on the field and you're trying to teach on the field. You can put that information down there, and they just have to look at the number, and then they know what they're supposed to do. And then lastly, print out the Risk Coach sheets. Now, a little bit on the printing here. You can print individually on the tab. You can just print, and you can see how many plays we have here. This is version 2. We have 180 plays possible. Version 1 does not have as many plays. The difference is it has more columns here where you can adjust formation. You can adjust your shift, your motion. It's more for a really versatile offense. With version 2, I made it so that when you input a play in one time, that whole play is one complete category. So what I didn't do here that I should have done is actually I didn't include the formation in the play call, which is what you'll want to do in version 2. So you have some choices there for ways to set it up, and I don't want to go into too much detail on that right now. But I do want you to know that I've worked really hard to make it very flexible for all different kinds of systems. And, so far I haven't had a system that it hasn't worked in yet. So who has this worked for? Well, you could be a coordinator, head coach. This definitely works for you. You're an established expert. This could save you a bunch of time if you're doing it all by yourself. And this is ideally who I had in mind when I created, but it's also for this person who is an assistant and, have game planning assignments. All right. Maybe you're the head freshman coach, and you've got to create the varsity game plan. Your coach gives you the plays and you got to set it up. And so I got a quick note from one. Michael Harris sent me this message, and he said I could share it with you. He said, "I'm using your system to help my players succeed so we can play fast, no-huddle football." So he's using it with his freshman team. Your program has made organizing my practice a breeze, allowing my players to get additional reps to improve their football IQ and skill sets. My OC is very happy with this system also. He tells me the plays, I organize the practice and game bands. Thank you for your time, talent, and passion to make this game easier to manage, coach, and play. So either way, it works. Thank you, Michael, for that. Just wanted to share that with you all. Who is it not for? Now, this is important. I do want to go over this because if it is not for you, I don't want you to waste your time or get frustrated. So I'm going to cover who this is not for. All right, first off, it's not for the Excel challenge, and you know who you are. If you have never used Excel before, or have used it very minimally, and it just takes you a while to figure out Excel and how to use it, then this is not for you. And it doesn't mean that you can't find an assistant. I recommend maybe you have somebody, maybe your spouse, maybe depending on how old your kids are, maybe they can help you out with it, or maybe you've got an assistant you want to give it to and have them help you create your call sheets. But if you yourself are not that skilled at figuring stuff out on the computer like Excel, and you're the one who's wanting to use it, I don't recommend it for you. Either find somebody else and have them be the one, or I'd say don't waste your time on it, because it's not that it's really hard to use, but it just navigating things around in Excel can be confusing at times. It might just take you longer. So, maybe you want to go for it if you're on the line, and maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. Just give yourself some more time to figure it out, okay? And I'm here to support you in helping you figure that out. All right, second, it's not for the last-minute procrastinator. All right, you know who I'm talking about, the coach that tries to get it all set up an hour or two before the game. Please don't do this. I just don't have the capacity to help you in an emergency. As much as I want to, I just can't always get back to you that fast in my support. So and sometimes things go weird and you got to start it over again. It's just the nature of computers. So you got to give yourself a little bit of time to work through the kinks, but once you get it figured out, it runs super smoothly. And I've also had any issues. This is the second year I've been offering this, and we've worked through a lot of those issues. I've created a ton of updates, and so it's working pretty well now. But that's not to say something couldn't happen. But usually once you get it figured out, it's good to go. All right, lastly, it's not for the Mr. Know-It-All. All right, and basically, I know it works, and we have lots of coaches who love it, but they're always the ones who take the time to learn how to set up and watch the training videos. As with any program, you need to invest some time, about an hour to figure things out and watching the training videos. Okay. So, if you're someone who's got a genuine desire and you're willing to take the time to learn it, all new software is a little bit different, takes you a minute to figure it out, then it is for you. Okay. Here's some things I offer to help you if you do have trouble. We have a Facebook support group. All right. We've got a lot of coaches in there right now that if you type in a question, not only will I get the question, but they'll get the question. Maybe they have some suggestions and can help you through figuring things out. That's free and that's included. And it's exclusive to only those who have purchased the Easy Football Game Planner. Also have video training, like I'd mentioned before. A lot of video training examples and walkthroughs of how to use each of the two versions. So you can go through those, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you go through those first so that you get just exactly how it's working. Lastly, email support. I'm here, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible when you have questions or if something's broken, to fix it as quick as possible. Okay. So anyway, I just want to share with you, here's what is included in the game planner. We have version 1, version 2. Those are easily both a couple $100 value because you're owning them for life. Each of them: video training library, Facebook support group, and email support. That's the value. That's not what it costs. Right now, if you can get it today, it's $99. Our full price is $199, and you might say, how come that's higher? I see other full prices of other companies that have it so much more. Well, I think it's because of the attention to detail, the fact that it covers so many aspects of your game, and the fact that I'm here and I want you to be successful for it. Okay. I'm not a person who just puts this out and good luck, you're on your own. So you can get a hold of me. You can contact me. I want to make this good. And not only that, but I want to keep making it better year in and year out. So even though you're in at $99 today, it might be $199 next year. Who knows what it'll be. I just want to keep making it better, but once you're in for life. And so any updates that are offered, you automatically get those. So if you're interested, this sounds like something that could really help you out. Just head on over to this address right here, https://tinyurl.com/game planner. That's tinyurl.com/game planner. And the link should be showing up right now next to our window in your chat box. If you can't see it, then you can just go directly here, but you should be able to click that link and purchase this for $99 today. And I do want to give you a 30-day guarantee. Sign up if you don't like it. After going through the game planner, just let me know and we'll give you your money back. All right. No questions asked. It's, I don't want to trap anybody. If you think it might be something, but then find out it's not, no big deal. Okay. So once again, you can get started right here for $99 today. All right. Thanks, coaches. I want to wrap this up. I'm going to leave this up for a minute. Take a quick look here, see if I have any questions to answer. Let's see here. I don't see anything right now question-wise, that has popped up. But as always, you can email me. If you have a question right now, go ahead and email that in the chat box. Click send. I'm happy to answer that question. If you want to see more of a demonstration or an actual walkthrough of it, go to this link also. I've got some walkthroughs up that are a little more detailed than what I was able to give you tonight on exactly how it works. Sometimes you get the question, will this work on Mac or PC? Yes, it will work on either Mac or PC. Okay, it works on both. But what you have to have is you have to have the Excel software program. If you don't have Excel that you can load it into, then it will not work. Another question I get sometimes is, will it work in Google Docs or the Google spreadsheets? And no, it will not work in Google Sheets. It's just because Excel is kind of particular with their formulas, and Google is not Excel. So you will actually need the Excel program. Another question I get sometimes is, can I share this with other coaches on my staff? And yes, you can. When you get it, you're going to get a downloadable file, and you're going to create your game plan, and it's going to be saved as an Excel file. You can email that Excel file to the coaches on your staff. Please help me out. I put a lot of work into this. Don't email it to other coaches and give it to them. There's a lot of support that goes into this, but you can share it with other coaches on your staff. I do give you express, if you really want express written permission, whatever they say. You have my permission to share it with coaches on your staff, okay? Because if you've got somebody on your staff who's better at it than you and you want them to set it up, then go ahead and have them do it. But please let them know not to share it with other coaches. So I honestly, it's the file is one thing. I think what's really valuable is learning how to do it and the support. I'm here to help you get it figured out, and that's what the private Facebook group is here for as well. All right, coaches, it's bonus time. If you signed on and you were alerted that you were going to get a bonus, if you didn't, no big deal. I got a bonus right here for you. So you should be able to click and download that bonus from this point forward in the webinar. So thank you for sticking around, and hopefully it really helps you out. So coaches, go ahead, head on over to tinyurl.com/game planner if you're interested. If not, it's been awesome getting the opportunity to talk with you about game plans. Love to hear your thoughts on this presentation. Hopefully you got a lot out of it, even if you weren't going to go for the game planner. But again, this is just my goal is to help you get your football knowledge better transferred to your athletes on the field and get you more wins in the end. So thanks again for tuning in, and you will get an email that will also have this link in it. So if you can't find the link, then just check your email, and you'll get that email, and you can link on it. You can purchase it right there, or if you want to email me or message me directly, you can just reply to any of the emails you've gotten already, and I will get them. So thanks again, coaches, for tuning in. Hope you have a great evening, and good luck at evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. Hopefully you have a great day, and I will hopefully talk to you later.